light illuminates their imperfections, hence their attempts to dull your shine. Light 'em up.
My name and flowers grew right out the brown soil. My vision's clear as glass, the robe is purple satin plus the crown's royal. Allow me to give you a demonstration. Holding your breath waiting for me to fail only brings hyperventilation. See, I'm a soldier that's ready for any situation. So me and life double dated my trials and tribulations. Won't be remembered for not speaking out. I Google map my whole approach, so I chose not to take the peaceful route. I promise I can't make this shit up. I shed a tear then used the mic stand to hold my chin up. They plot and strategize on different ways to make me give up. That's easier said than done, like a woman that's 9 months pregnant doing sit-ups. Yeah, I read the book of life, defeat was never in my story. Just brutal fights on the battlefield is bloody and gory. Showing off is a fool's idea of glory. Call me foolish, then in the clutch I make them drop like I was Robert Ory. See, in this world you gotta sink or swim. Boy, I'm a legend, when I die my presence never will be felt again. This greatness rare, but see I kept it in. Isolation and the demons, guardian angels been my only friend. I've been at war with myself in silence. Had a mental malfunction, forced to go into hiding. For powerless like
right now, cause then you gonna understand, whoever get in my way, I'm a dog walk their ass.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your boy's back in the building. Salute to everybody that's in the building. It's your boy, Big Mike Raider. And hey, man, we got to get over some things, man. I know Sunday was a pretty rough game. We got to get past it. We're going to get past it officially right here on the Big Mike Raider channel, man. Salute to everybody in the building. I don't see any numbers on here. I don't know how many people are in here. Let me know in the chat if you guys are in the building or not, man. For whatever reason, I'm having some issues on the StreamYard side. I cannot see what's going on as far as numbers go. But if you guys are listening, man, you guys already know what to do. Like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. There we go. We got 21 in the building. We're warming this thing up. You guys already know what to do, man. Become a member of the Big Mike Raider fleet, man. Right there. Much love to you guys. Show some love right there. Become a member. And, hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it if you guys do that. But, guys, we got to talk about this thing and let it pass at this point. Yeah, we got smoked on Sunday against the Commanders. It was a bad game, right? We're going to talk about the small window stuff. We're going to talk about the bigger mid-window, back up out of that small window, and talk about kind of things, what to expect for the rest of the season. And then we're going to go existential. If that's a big word for you guys, hey, we're going to look at the bigger body of work. What's going to happen with these Raiders moving forward as far as, you know, getting the fan base back into their good graces, getting the faith amongst Raider Nation, because right now it's at a nuclear level right now. People are upset, and we're going to talk about it, man. But, man, we're going to get into this thing. Shout out to everybody in the building. First one up, man, DTJ, ROTY, #1 wide receiver, Raiders. Salute, Big Mike. Thanks for popping in. We got Anthony in the building. We got Ron Justice in the building. Let me see who else we got, man. We got Low Life Rev in the building, a member of the Big Mike Raider Fleet Raider Nation, and Big Mike Raider salute. Man, I appreciate you coming in. We got Herman Munster, another member. Raiders. Man, I can't do too much of those Raiders, man, because I was sick for about a week. Sorry about that. I was sick for about a week, so I can't do too much yelling. Excuse me for that one, man. I'll do better next time, but it's all right, man. We're going to keep this thing rolling. You guys going to have me dying out here. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm not 100% better on that one, man. So we got John B in the building. We got Ken in the building. Dan Tessier in the building. Big Mike Raider, salute nation, man. Salute to you, man. We got Lecky T in the building. Dang. All that yelling, man. All right. It says, sup, family, man. Sup to you, man. We got 34 in the building. I'm about to get this thing warmed up pretty quickly, man. Let's see. Boo the membership. Gray Dot Gang in the building, man. Appreciate you, man. Let me see. Daniel Kim, man, in the building. Alec M. Raiders O-line was terrible. Need to fix many things. We're going to talk about it, man. We're going to talk about it. Let me see. We got 1 and 2 in the building. Let's see who else we got right here, man. Shout out to everybody. Let me see who else. Who else we got here, man? Thomas in the building. 1 and 2. Like I said, Alec M. Ron Justice laughing at me for choking on air. It's all right, man. Hey, pause if necessary on that one, but it's all good, man. Let me see. 1 and 2 says Colloidal Silver. Mike will kick in. It's okay. You did say that in the comments. I'm gonna have to check that out, man. Appreciate you. Let me see. Yeah, it's rough out here. My neighbor's cough so bad he may have pneumonia or TB. Crazy stuff. Yeah, it's going around, man. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's talk about the game. Hey, let's talk about the small window stuff, right? And we've been ad nauseum about this offensive line. The offensive line looked atrocious. There's really no other way around it. We're going to get into it. But let's talk about some other things that didn't look so great. Let's talk about special teams. Now, special teams is a want to, right? Special teams is do a simple task, stay in your lane, stay in bounds, Darian Porter, and go down the field and make a play, right? Not really too much to it in the special teams, right? That's why a lot of the backups play it because, well, there's not much to it. So when you fail at special teams, that tells me you woke up that Sunday morning and said, today's not the day. I don't want to play football today. That's what that seems like to me. And, across the board, this team went in there on a short week, went across the country and went there on a Sunday and decided, hey, we don't want to play football today, particularly that offensive line, particularly special teams. Opening kickoff, they already showed that they weren't ready to play football. Went down the field, gave the Commanders a short field. Boom, 7 right off the bat. 7 points right off the bat. Later on in that third quarter, punt return for a touchdown, 90 yards. Darian Porter, unsportsmanlike call that got overturned, or not overturned, but declined. He was out of bounds. These things tell me you woke up that Sunday morning and decided you didn't want to play football. That has to be changed. Special teams is a want to. Tackling is a want to. Defense is a want to, right? Defense, this whole season, they've been playing good all season. To this past Sunday, they showed that they didn't want to play football, right? They didn't want to play football, right? 2 big chunk plays that led to touchdown, 2 bombs, especially that one at the end where didn't really have much of a chance to come back and win the game. They're down 10, but a stop right there. The offense gets the ball back. They're kind of rolling at the end of that game, and boom, gives up an easy bomb touchdown right there. So, that tells me that people weren't on their A game. Where was the mindset? What was going on, right? Third game of the season, you're not supposed to see stuff like this, guys. And that tells me that, are you tired? Do you not want to play football? What's going on? What's going on today? I know it's the short week. You're on the road. The Commanders had a longer break. There's so many reasons why you should not win that game. But did it get in your head? Did it get in your head that, hey, maybe we aren't supposed to win this game, right? Did you start believing that we don't really have to give A+ effort? Nobody's really expecting us to win this game, right? It's not about winning, or it's not about losing the game, because you could have an A effort and still lose against this Commanders team. It's how it looked. It was the effort that we were really lacking across the board. And that's a smaller window thing. I'm going to put on the defense and on special teams that this was a one and done type of deal. We cannot see this next week. I'm not jumping out of the window as far as the defense and the special teams goes. We'll see a better effort next week. At least we hope so, right? One thing that I'm kind of worried about, and we're looking at a bigger picture right now, window-wise, right? We're looking at the offensive line. For 3 games, this offensive line has not looked good, particularly in run blocking. we're making Ashton Genty's experience as a Raider is not looking good for him, right? A lot of people, guys like the Ryan Clarks of the world, the guys that are talking heads out there are already talking about this guy wasn't the correct pick, right? And we just keep proving them right, especially because the offensive line hasn't delivered. It's a damn shame that we have a guy like Ashton Genty having more yards after contact than he has yards, period, in a season. That's a problem. He's getting hit in the backfield constantly. Was it something like 57% of his carries this season he's been hit in the backfield? That's a problem. This offensive line, I'm not going to lie to you, right? There has to be some shuffling around, right? Because if there's no shuffling around and we keep what we got going on, these first 3 games is definitely a snapshot what we're going to see for the rest of the season. And that's a problem, right? That is a big problem. And shout out to my guy, Big Lil Bosco. We were talking earlier today just on Instagram and stuff. We played football together, right? And we were swapping, old school stories that we were talking about back in the day. We were talking about the idea of in-team politics, right? Sometimes the best players aren't going on the field, right? Or there's a beef between coaches and players. I'm hoping that is not the case, right? Whatever is going on between JPJ and these coaches, it needs to be fixed, right? I was on board with the Brendan Carrolls, Pete Carrolls having JPJ being that guard. I was saying that I'm gonna trust what they're doing, that they know better than I do. But everybody, including you guys, were saying JPJ should be center, right? And there's so many people ready to jump out of the window about it. I was like, let me see how it looks. Okay, well, we saw how it looks. Jordan Meredith looks absolutely terrible at center, right? We need to put JPJ at the center position and bring a spark to this offensive line. Now, Dylan Parham, maybe he's better on the right side. Let's throw him on the right side at right guard. Now, do you put Jordan Meredith at the guard position or do you keep Kappa in? I don't know. Something tells me that you probably keep Kappa in and put him on the left side and let Jordan Meredith sit. I don't think that he's a starter in this league. We need to, and maybe and Kappa isn't either. But I think that we should roll with Kappa on the left side, Parham on the right side, JPJ at center, and see what we have, right? But kind of going back to my point with JPJ, hey, whatever's going on with the coaches, whatever's going on, if there's some kind of in-game, in-team politics, or he's not doing what you think he should do, fix it. Because bad teams, this kind of situation, they let good players go in these kind of situations, and they end up thriving somewhere else. So in the second year for JPJ, you need to fix it. You need to fix it because we are ruining an opportunity to have somebody special on this line anchor our offensive line. I think that JPJ is a special player at the center position. And whatever reason why he was sitting, on the bench playing special teams and didn't get any burn, that is a huge problem to me, right? We need to fix it. Coaches need to fix it. Whatever's going on between that, pride needs to be swallowed. Whatever needs to happen, JPJ needs to be at the center position and on the field. Pride aside, whatever that is, winning comes first. The Shield comes first. Raider Nation, guys, I feel you guys' frustration. I'm frustrated too, right? Let's see some changes first before we jump out of the window. That's all I'm saying. But let me get to some of these chats right here, man. We got 56 in the building, kind of rambling a little bit, but I wanted to get that piece off before I started rolling, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Let me see. We got 1 and 2. He says, seems like they aren't bought in. They could be too pissed about decisions being made. Could they be too pissed about decisions being made? That's a possibility, right? Especially if people really believe that JPJ should be a center. Now, are people already not buying in? I don't think that's the case, right? But, the results aren't showing on the field at this point. So you kind of have to go with what the status quo is, right? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Hopefully a guy like Pete Carroll isn't stubborn enough to stick with what has pretty much got him nowhere at this point, and we can move on, right? Let me see. Alec M. Defense gave up during the game. Absolutely. These guys didn't want to play football on Sunday, guys. That's really what it was. Shout out to Dean Hubler. He says, one of the worst games I've seen. This is the worst game I've seen in a very long time, for sure. And we've seen some bad games over the years. That is a problem. We need to fix that, man. But, man, salute to you, man. Shout out to Coach sipping Jamba Juice out of a straw. He says they sure are special. Yeah, they played like something was wrong with them, for sure, man. We got Dan Tessier. Should have never had our tight end 2 out there on special teams. That is a problem, too. When you got a playmaker, premier playmaker like Michael Mayer out there, special teams, that's a problem. He got his clock absolutely cleaned. And it was scary because he had his hands out like almost rigor mortis after he got hit. And I was worried for him. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, we haven't seen the injury report or anything like that. Don't expect Michael Mayer to play this week or maybe even next week, to be honest with you, man. Let me see. Shout out to Bo Rock. Big Mike, until we fix our O-line, we might only win one game this season. 53-year fan here, and it's the worst O-line I've ever seen. This is the worst O-line I've seen since I've been a Raider fan, for sure. I agree with you. That's why adjustments need to be made, and I can't blame you for feeling like winning one game is about as good as it gets. Geno Smith is on pace to get sacked 68 times. That is a Raider record. That'd be a Raider record. Geno Smith was pressured over 28 times this past game. He got sacked 5 times. This man is 34 years old. This will ruin his career. We will not see Geno Smith next year if we do keep this offensive line and they keep performing at this poor rate. We will not see Geno Smith in year 2. We will see Geno Smith regress to those New York Jet days because he's running for his damn life. He's starting to see shadows. He's scared, right? All the great quarterbacks, any quarterback that's came into this league and has been sacked a number of times, it ruined their career, right? And Geno Smith is not going to be the exception to that rule. We need to start protecting him, or, hey, we're going to be looking for a quarterback and an offensive line next year. And now we're setting back the clock once again. So that needs to be fixed, absolutely, man. Let me see. Who else we got in the building, man? Let me see. We got Ron Justice. He says, we need new flesh on that line. You are a trenches guy like myself. If you know, you know. We do. We definitely need another guard, man. We need a couple of guards. DJ Glaze is not excused from this either. He got ragdolled, right? By a Hall of Famer. Yeah, sure, right? But, this is a guy who hasn't been playing well at all not well, but he hasn't been playing to his level of what we seen when he was playing with the Broncos and, Von Miller, I'm talking about, guys. Him playing at the Hall of Fame level that we're so used to seeing him playing over the years. He's not at that level now. And for DJ Glaze to get one arm ragdolled right in his chest, set back and put on skates right into the quarterback's lap, that's embarrassing. DJ Glaze has to look in the mirror and really, there has to be some assessments made for sure. Let me see. Alec M, man. He says it. JPJ back at center. I agree. We need to change it, man. We need to change it. Maybe Parham will be better at center, move Meredith to left guard. Yeah. Meredith, I don't know if I even want him to start at this point. Let me see. Demoke says AOC MVP incoming, baby. Please no. Demoke, please no, man. Parham just letting guys blow right past him. Yeah. And, shout out to Sanjit. He came out with a breakdown of that play. And, I understand that there's assignments to be made in that situation, but I cannot justify somebody going right across, right through that A gap and, you not at least acknowledging that somebody's there, right? Even if that isn't your assignment. I couldn't, in the right state of mind, really just accept somebody just shooting through the A gap as fast as they could and going straight for my quarterback. I'd have to break assignment in that situation. And if that is Meredith's guy, shame on him. I know he had a guy going across his face, the opposite A gap, and he committed to that, right? But there has to be some sort of communication between that guard and center. I don't know what needs to happen, or maybe, I don't know, maybe a pre-snap kind of thing. It's tough, right? That's why you got the hot read and things like that. Throw it real quick to a guy in that situation. It's tough, but, you know, Parham, if you did see it, you need to at least acknowledge that somebody's going there. You need to be at least chasing somebody and trying to make a play, at least break from your assignment. The dude didn't even acknowledge that the dude was shooting through that opposite A gap. And that is a problem for me, whether or not that is his assignment or not. It's time for Las Vegas Raiders to use the running back fullback setup to be more efficient. Yeah, I would like to see a fullback back there, man. Let's activate JJ Pegues and put him at fullback in certain situations. I'm cool with it. We need, I think he does need a lead backer because we don't have that offensive line that could probably sustain just a single back formation. We do need that lead blocker to have it as an extra blocker to find that lane and make extra holes for Ashton Genty, get him started, get him into a good rhythm. Let me see who else we got, man. He says Dan Tessier Kappa was getting shoved into Gino's lap. Yeah, Kappa, the whole team. I think even I say Colton Miller was the only one that kind of did a little something, man. Everybody else, absolutely horrible. I didn't say I didn't care whether he or anyone else plays as long as they win. Now it's time to make changes or the season will be over before it even started. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree. And 1 and 2, to be honest with you, man, I was on board just because I trusted what this coaching staff was doing with putting JPJ at guard. I even justified it, right? Maybe he's not getting the concept of plays and things like that. He's more of a doer, a mauler, and things like that. I did justify that. But at this point, Jordan Meredith has shown that he cannot play the center position at a starter's level. He needs to sit down. He needs to sit down or move to guard or something. Something needs to change. JPJ needs to move back there, and then we can get it rolling on the fly if we have to. But, yeah, let me see who else we got here, man. We got Mondo in the building. Salute to you, man. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. Been running my mouth this whole time, man. Let me see. Let's see who else we got in here, man. We got Just Raiders, baby, in the building, man. Salute to you. Thanks for popping in. We got 79 in the building. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. You guys already know what to do. Let's get these likes up, man, and share it out to all socials, man. Let's get this thing rolling. We're just putting JPJ back at right guard. Someone needs to show Pete last year's tape on JPJ at center. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's seen it. And for whatever reason, like I said, if it's a politics thing or you're looking for a certain thing from them, yeah, you gotta throw that out the window, man. I don't know. Put the pride aside. If there is issue between the coaches and JPJ, I'm not saying that's what it is, but it sure does reeks of that for sure. We got to put the pride aside and put him at the position he needs to be in for sure, man. Let me see. We got AKA Freddie B. How do you feel about maybe bringing back Trent Brown and moving Glaze to right guard? I don't know. I don't. Is Trent Brown? Trent Brown left here on a sour note. Not gonna lie to you, man. He came in here overweight, didn't want to play the tackle position, didn't want to be a Raider. Those kind of guys don't get a second chance in my book, man. Trent Brown, he's gonna have to do a lot of apologizing, a lot of like, hey, I want to be a Raider. I want to be here. You got to really show you want to be here, first off. And I don't really give second chances with that. I don't know about you guys, but we've been burned too many times by different players who say that they want to be Raiders, and then they come over here and stink up the joint. I'm tired of it. Trent Brown is on that list. He showed me he don't want to be here, right? Now, as far as moving Glaze to right guard, you know, if we can find a right tackle that can kind of match his ability, then I'm all for it. And but Trent Brown is not the guy, man. To me, Trent Brown is a guy that can't be redeemed. He really left here on a bad note for me. He left a lot of people, Raider Nation, with a bad taste in their mouth, and I'm not with that these days, man. Alec M says Chargers will fail at some point. It's in their choker blood. Oh, you know it, man. They look good on paper. They're 3-0, but they'll choke. Just wait for it, y'all. Just wait for it. Damn, this was a year to be at least 9 to 10 wins for a possible postseason. I'm not letting go of hope in this situation, but it's not looking good. I'll tell you that. They need a lot of fixing to do. They need some things to do, right? Particularly with that offensive line. But we'll see. Yeah, no more. No to Moon Pie Brown. Yeah, pride and purpose. I agree, man. Let me see. We got shout out to Nada in the building. Salute. Thanks for popping in, man. Let me see. So here's my other part of this whole thing, kind of the aftermath of this game against the Commanders, right? A lot of Raider fans are upset, right? A lot of Raider fans are showing their frustration. I was on that list, right? We're tired of losing. Everybody's tired of losing. You've heard people say it, express it in so many different ways, right? Particularly with the whole ticket situation, right? The tickets are high. The tickets are way too damn high for a team that's underperforming the way that the Raiders have underperformed for the last few years. Let's say 3 years, right? So when you go to Washington and get smoked the way you got smoked, and then you want to, come back in our face and be like, hey, get loud for us, man. This is Raider Nation. Show them what we're made of and this and that. You're not going to get the support that you're thinking you're going to get, right? We are tired. Shout out to you Oakland Raider fans out here who are Oakland Raider fans from the beginning. You saw your team get moved twice, right? I'm talking about Oakland natives. You seen your team get moved twice. I saw my LA Raiders get moved when I was a kid, right? You can't expect a fan base to take all this heartache on the field and then off the field. You strip that from them, move them from Oakland, take away the tailgate experience and move them to a shiny new place in Las Vegas and don't give them the same type of looks, ticket prices, right? The tailgate, the whole experience of being a Raider fan, and expect them to return. But you guys do. And commend you guys for that. But there has to be an expiration date on that, right? To me, I think there's an expiration date of this. Now, once a Raider, always a Raider, Raider fan till I die, this and that. Some of us don't feel that way. I do. I know you guys do. Some of you guys do, right? But people that are putting money into this, into seeing a winning product, spending their top dollar, going to Vegas to see them lose, right? The hottest ticket in America, to see their team lose after they got stripped of their team in Oakland. That becomes personal. That becomes a slap in the face at this point. How many of you guys feel like you guys been slapped in the face this season, right? Last year, we got absolutely slapped in the face by Antonio Pierce, doing Raiders cosplay, wearing black Air Forces, showing up in his old, his old school muscle car and things like that, really playing the Raider fan and things like that. It's getting old. It's getting old. What solves all of this is winning football games, because some people like the Raiders for the colors, right? Some people like the Raiders for the history, and some of us want to fucking win, right? At this point, we want to win. We want to win some damn football games. I'm ready to see a winning product on this field, right? And for you guys who have seen your team in Oakland move twice and heartbreak, right? You guys are thirsting for a win. You guys are thirsting for football to be something that you're proud of, silver and black wise, right? and they just haven't done it for you, right? It gets tiring. It does. I don't think that a lot of these guys, now some of us are going to be here no matter what, but for a lot of these people, hey, this season is I wouldn't say make or break, but you can't go 4-13 again this year. And I don't know what needs to be done, but it needs to be done, right? We're looking at the game against the Bears. It's a 50-50 split, right? Half Bears fans, half Raiders fans. And when you look at faithfulness and you look at history of the Bears and Raiders, it's almost a mirror image, right? A team who was dominant in the 80s in the Bears, 85 Bears, them, one of the all-time defenses. But this is a team that really hasn't done anything since then. Yeah, they went to one Super Bowl and lost, just like we did in the early 2000s, right? The difference is that the Bears were not moved from Chicago the whole time, right? So we have a unique situation where this team has been stripped from our home, our hometowns, Oakland, Los Angeles, right? Mark Davis, man, I'm not saying this is on you. Pete Carroll, I'm not saying this is 100% on you, right? But somebody needs to answer for this. Somebody needs to actually make a decision and put a winning product on this field, or what's going to happen to the next generations to come as far as Raider fans go. How do we expect us to pass down the traditions of being a Raider fan, when all it's been is losing? It's tough. It's tough to do that. I don't know, guys. Let me know how you guys feel, because to me, it almost feels like a slap in the damn face. Let me hear what you guys have to say, man. Let me hear what you have to say, man. Let me see. I used to hustle up money on Fridays and Saturdays so I could have money to go to the games at the Coliseum. We deserve better. Been down since before I could say Raiders, man. Yeah. And, everybody has a Raider story, right? Particularly you guys that were from the Oakland area, in the Bay Area, taking that train over to the Coliseum, chilling in the tailgates, getting the food, getting the beer, getting loaded, getting good for the game. You know what I mean? Getting the cheap ticket, sitting up at the top, or a cheap ticket sitting in the black hole, right? The tailgate experience, the camaraderie, it's been stripped. And it's not even in exchange for wins. We're still seeing the same product. So I can't blame you guys for being frustrated. I can't blame people who are like, I'm out, right? Me personally, if I was to say I was out, I would never watch a game of football again. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not picking another team. It's either the Raiders or absolutely nothing. I won't watch a single game of football ever again if I decided, hey, I can't take this no more, right? There's no secondary for me. There's no secondary for you guys. I get it, right? But the Raiders as an organization really need to look in our face and promise that things are going to be changed here, right? Because we've been through way too much heartache with this, right? There's a lot of people that when their team loses, they have other teams, they're like, oh, well, I'm putting my jersey away. It is what it is, right? Next season. No, when we lose, it hurts, right? We're wearing our Raiders gear in April. We're going to Easter Sunday dinner and we're wearing Raiders stuff, right? It's a lifestyle. This isn't just a team. This is a lifestyle. It's a brotherhood, sisterhood. We live this, right? We bleed the silver and black. That's what's different between us and those 31 other teams, man. And we need the promise from this front office, from this coaching staff. Hey, we're going to turn this around, because this is a slap in the face at this point. It really is. I don't know. Let me know what you think, man. Let me know what you think. 1 and 2 went to NHL games in Oakland back in the day, man. Hey, there you go, man. Everybody has their Oakland story, man. Me personally, I'm from LA, and that's one of my biggest regrets. I'm not going to lie to you guys, right? Never been to an Oakland Raider game. Been to some LA games, right? At the time, I was in the Navy. When I had the money to go check out the Raiders in Oakland, I couldn't make it up there because I was too busy with work, right? And then before that, I couldn't make it to Oakland because I was broke. I didn't have no money at the time. I was in my early 20s. couldn't make it out there from LA to Oakland, things like that. So wasn't able to see that. And I was too young when they were in LA. They left here when I was 7 years old. So, you know, I always enjoyed the Raiders from afar on TV. And when I was able to make the money to go see the Raiders, you know, my first, Raider game in person was a preseason game in LA when they played the Rams, so those are the type of memories that I do have. Actually, no, my first Raider game was in San Diego when they played the Chargers, when they clinched the playoffs. But, that felt like a home game. You know what I mean? And we don't even have that anymore. So I don't know, man. I want to hear from you guys because this is a frustrating situation for all you guys. There's some people that are like, I'm out. There's some people that are just like, hey, we're cursed, this and that, right? Shout out to Coach Jamba Juice, man. He says the team is cursed. You guys have every right to feel that way, and we really need to fix this. It needs to be fixed. We need a winning product on this field. Let me see. L Rocket 75, JPJ getting traded per inside source. L Rocket, what's going on, bro? There ain't no way. Ain't no way, man. You ain't gonna have me reporting some nonsense over here, man. Let me see. Devin Smith, we're literally the most loyalist fan base in sports. That includes all major sports. I mean, how many other teams have moved as many times as the Raiders, but we're still here, right? You can't tell me about the Raiders fans not being the most loyal fans in sports, any sport. Think about it. There's nobody more loyal to the soil than the Raider fan, man. I'll tell you that. Man, we got Fudge 357. You ain't lying, Big Mike. Hey, I say how I see it, bro. I say how I see it. Bo Rock, my bro, I have 8 Raiders tattoos, so I'm in this for life, especially after 53 years of being a fan, right? And you're one of many. You're one of many that has it tatted up. They grew up. I've heard stories from back in the day when, the Raiders won their first Super Bowl in Pasadena against the Minnesota Vikings, Super Bowl 11, right? John Madden at the top of that pile at the end of the day, right? People were sneaking in to the Rose Bowl to see the Raiders play in the Super Bowl when you could do stuff like that back in the day, right? The Coliseum, people were sneaking into the Coliseum to see the game, jumping over fences and things like that, sneaking into the Coliseum in LA. Oakland, everybody has an Oakland story, right? This has been stripped from us, these special stories. What do we have now? The Raiders got a shiny stadium. It's too hot to really be at the tailgate like that. Yeah, the tailgate is great, but it ain't like an Oakland tailgate. So it's a level of flavor that's been stripped, right? And when they moved to Vegas, everybody was like, hey, that's great. At least we got the facilities. At least we got this, that, and the third. We're going to be able to get some guys in here because now we got some money. But it's been all the same. So now it's just a slap in the face, right? That's really all it feels like now. Let me see. Let's see who else we got here, man. Fudge 357 says, I'm still saying we're going 10-7. I'm gonna die on that hill, bro. I'm gonna die on that hill. 10-7 is where I'm at right now as well, man. I'm staying with that. Losing the Warriors hurt worse than losing the A's. That's the only team in my entire lifetime that showed me what it feels like to be a winner, and I can't blame you for that, bro. I'm a Lakers fan personally, right? I've been fortunate enough to see every professional team that I enjoy win a championship. In my lifetime, I've seen the Lakers win countless NBA finals. Saw the Dodgers recently win a World Series. I saw the Kings win 2 out of 3 years, right? 2 in 3 years. Hell, I even saw the LA XFL team win a championship. The LA, or the Express or whatever they were called when they were here in the early 2000s. But the one that matters the most, I haven't seen it. I've never seen the Raiders win a Super Bowl, right? I've seen them go to one, but I've never seen it. And that's the one that means the most to me, right? I could care less if the Lakers win another championship, right? I could care less if the Dodgers win another World Series. It's been done already. But the Raiders winning the Super Bowl, bro might be in tears with that situation, right? And I know you guys feel the same way about it. So, I know where you're coming from, man. It just means more to us for the Raiders to really be back on top, man. It really does. That's why we're here. That's why you guys have been here all year. We're just waiting for it, man. We're hungry for it, right? And we can't take another blowout like that. Go on a Sunday and just decide you didn't want to play football. The players in that locker room, just at least kind of keep us in mind. Hey, play hard for us. We're not asking for you to, go undefeated. Just don't get blown out the way you got blown out. That's all we're talking about here. Let me see. Nada says, always parked on High Street and walk my broke ass to the stadium. Man, I'm telling you, bro, everybody's got that story. Everybody's got a story, how far they walk. I remember going, the first Raider game I went to, my wife was pregnant. We parked at like some random parking lot in San Diego and walked a good like mile to Qualcomm. Everybody has a story like that, man. And I'm sure there's countless stories of Oakland, and I'm sure there's people around that got LA stories, so it's just sad that we can't, not only is that tradition been stripped of us, we can't even get no wins on the board, right? It's a damn shame to me. It needs to be fixed. I'm out in their curse. They need an exorcist or some shit. I don't know at this point, man. Yeah. And that's how it feels sometimes, man. I can't blame you for that. I can't, bro. I can't. House junkies from LA. I went both to LA and Oakland and LV. LA and Oakland tailgates were the best ever without the heat. Yeah. It's too hot to be out there, bro. You got to wait till like November to be like, hey, I'm gonna go chill in the tailgate with these guys, right? Like, it's just too hot right now. Let me see. Raider Smoke 89 also got that ink on me. Bay Area Raiders since the late 90s. Salute Big Mike, man. Hey, salute to you, man. Keep the hope alive, man. Keep the hope alive. Let me see. House Junkie says from LA, I went. We already read that one. My bad. Win, lose, or city move, Raider till I die. I love it, man. I love it, man. Keep that. We gotta keep that, man. We need the next generation, most importantly, to have that same mindset, because that's what I'm worried about the most. These children coming up that we've raised to be Raider fans. At some point, what are they going to be like? Are they going to be like, hey, I'm out? I want to go where a winning team is. Who knows, right? Hopefully they keep that same loyalty, right? But chances are some of these guys are going to drop, right? So what's going to happen to our fan base down the line? Dad Tessie said, I've been a fan since 72 through thick and thin, loyal to a fault. That's all of us, man. That's all of us here, man. That's all of us. Let me see. He says it wasn't too hot last Monday. Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to cool off just a little bit, bro. And I'm gonna be at a game this season. I was supposed to go to the Chargers game, but that didn't happen. I had some work stuff I had to take care of, though. But Lecky T says, I know how it is watching the Raiders lose heartbreaking games. Had to watch NBA or rugby league to cure my satisfaction. Ah, man, it's rough, bro. It's rough. Coach says 6 to 7 wins, man. I can't blame you. I can't blame you, man. Let me see. Most of Niner fans fake as hell. They ain't faithful. Yeah, of course. When they start losing, that stadium is empty, or they're busy fighting each other. I don't want to hear nothing about, faithful to the Bay and all that nonsense. Like 49ers fans, you guys are the biggest bandwagon fans. Where are you guys when they're going, the years where they went 3-13 and things like that? Like, I don't want to hear none of that, bro. Lecky T says, I'm from SAC and my family tried to recruit me to be a Kings fan. Nasty work, Oos. Yeah, I don't know about being a Kings fan. Man, shout out to the 93 in the building, man. You guys already know what to do. Like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. We're going to wrap talking about this Commanders game because I want to talk a little bit real quick about what to expect with this Bears game. It's an early preview. We're not going to talk too much about it. I want to get more in detail as the week progresses. It's Tuesday. We don't even have an injury report and things like that, but we're going to read some more of these comments, and then we're going to move on to the next, man. Let me see. As far as sports goes, I enjoy watching sports, but it's different with the Raiders. Without the Raiders winning, I'm just not that big of a sports fan. Agreed. I'm on the same board. The Raiders have to win. Yeah, I agree. is just NFL in general isn't fun to watch when the Raiders lose. I don't even watch the rest of the games during the day when the Raiders lose. I don't remember watching too many games last year just because, the Raiders put such a terrible taste in my mouth going 4-13. I didn't watch any games. I didn't watch any games this past weekend either. That's how much it means to me. Let me see. DeMokes is on the board, man. Lakers, Dodgers, Kings, Raiders. You already know. That's how we do it over here too. Yankees making a comeback for the World Series. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, they might make the playoffs, but it's Dodgers. We going for that back-to-back, baby. Leave the Dodgers and Lakers out of the convo. Yeah, those are winning teams at least. Man, struggling, y'all. Oh, we lost to the Chargers, a top 5 team, and the Skins, a top 8-ish team. Once we play less talented teams, we get some dubs. And that's what I'm hoping for, man. I'm hoping that this is all an overreaction. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, we're looking at these games and was like, well, that seemed like a setback, but now we're looking up 3-4-2 with a big game coming up, and hopefully we redeem ourselves from, those 2 dud of a games early on in the season. Let me see. Accelerator, am I skipping you, bro? My bad, bro. Let me see what you got, bro. Let me see. I don't mean to be skipping you, bro. Accelerator says this old line ain't bad. It's non-existent. Yeah, it might as well be a turnstile gate at this point, man. And we got Mondo with that content. Ah, man. I can't do it, bro. Shout out to Mondo, bro. God dang, bro. I'm struggling, y'all. Let me see. Shout out to Dominique 5. Yankees have the most championships in sports history. Yeah, 27 of them things, man. 27. Let me see. Josh Anderson. He says, I didn't watch no games after we lost Sunday. I was depressed. Yeah, me too. Raiders are the only team I root for. Facts. Big Mike Raider. Man, you already know, man. Shout out to you. Thanks for popping in. Let me see. Shout out to James Morrison. Says, same here, Big Mike. Every one of my teams have won except for the Raiders, Miami Heat, Florida Panthers, Atlanta Braves, and Tennessee Volunteers. Of all 11 in my lifetime, except for the damn Raiders, man. They need to fix that. I think we're all waiting for that one. We're waiting for that one. Let me see. Accelerator says, nah, you skipping me on purpose to try to encourage a super nah, bro. Bro, come on, man. If you contribute, great. If you don't, man, it's all love either way, man. Deceptive business practices. Oh man, conspiracy, man. I'm skipping Accelerator so he can drop the $50 bomb, man. Nah, man, it's all good, bro. Hey, my bad. I honestly didn't skip you on purpose, man. Let me see. Take a shot of tequila for the cough. Yeah, I think I might have to do that. I don't have anything on me right now. We're gonna tough it out. We're gonna tough it out for at least 20-30 minutes. So that's it, man. That's the aftermath of the Raiders and Commanders game on Sunday. Looked at a small window, medium, and then existential. We did all that, right? Now let's look towards the future, right? Let's look at this week 4 game. But before we do that, man, shout out to my guy, Accelerator, with the $2 bomb. Oh, wrong button. There you go. Says, I got you. Raiders. I shouldn't have done that, man. $2 bomb for my guy, Accelerator, man. I appreciate you, bro. And you get another round of applause, bro. Let me see. Alec M says, or a super spicy burrito, clean out your sinuses. It'll clean out something else, I'll tell you that. And I don't know if I'm ready for it, man. I don't want that problem. Fudge357 says sources are predicting when they play the Bears, 50% of their fans are going to be at Allegiant. Yeah, and it's supposedly one of the hottest tickets in the NFL right now. So there you go. You get what you got when you don't win. Let me see. I didn't know you were in the Navy. You should call your subscribers the fleet. Yeah, Hey, that's the Big Mike Raider fleet. That's why I call it that, bro. Welcome to the fleet. I hope you guys did kind of get what I was getting at. I was in the Navy for 9 years. Served there, and I was medically retired. So, it's my paying homage to my Navy background for the Big Mike Raider fleet, right? And once again, if you guys want to become a member of the Big Mike Raider fleet, go ahead and hit that link up at the top. It's the best way to support what we got going on here at Big Mike Raider. Yep, Navy man, 9 years, man. 9 years. Hoping the O-line can step it up, man. I hope so too. They got a lot to prove this coming up, man. Let me see. The Bears just destroyed the Cowboys, so we better be careful. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. So you guys already know the Bears took care of business against the Cowboys 31-14. Caleb Williams played his best game in his NFL career so far. 19 for 28, 298 yards, 4 touchdowns, a rating of 142.6. Excellent numbers, but let's just be honest, right? This Cowboys defense is atrocious this year, right? Not anything to really write home to. Yeah, gotta give Caleb Williams his due, his credit that's due, but he didn't play a good defense, guys. That is not a good Cowboys defense over there. Had a game of his life, right? Let's get more into it, right? And there's some guys that we got to really start paying attention to, particularly these wide receivers, really young wide receiver core. Luther Burden, 3 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Roma Dunze, 3 catches, 62 yards, and a touchdown as well. The grizzled vet DJ Moore got on the board, 4 catches, 21 yards, and a touchdown. And then, the rest of that team kind of in support, getting, little yardage here and there. One guy that we got to keep an eye on that injury report is Colston Loveland, that tight end for the rookie tight end for the Bears. We don't know if he's going to play, right? But if he doesn't, it's going to be Cole Kmet's show, right? So we're going to have to be ready for that 1-2 punch if they do play. But if not, it's going to be Cole Kmet, right? DeAndre Swift is the running back there. They don't really have much of a run game to speak of at this point. But, this defense, the Raiders defense, is going to have to deal with Caleb Williams coming off of one of his best games this season, right? I think that he can be had, right? Caleb Williams before this game wasn't really showing that I'm not saying he's a bust, but the number 1 pick status that you're looking for the play from a quarterback like Caleb Williams, he hasn't really shown it besides this last game. I personally think that he's going to come back down to earth from this Raiders defense, but you guys let me know. Now on that defensive side, we got to look after Tremaine Edmonds. 15 total tackles in 71 snaps, was absolute star. Montez Sweat, he got on the board. He does some things. Those are the 2 guys that you really got to worry about. But if you look deeper into their PFF scores, the interior defensive line, right? Not so great, guys. This offensive line, if they're going to redeem themselves at all this season, they have an opportunity to do that with this Bears defensive interior line, right? Chris Williams, 43.6 PFF grade, 106 out of 120 interior D linemen. Jervon Dexter, 62.7 PFF grade, kind of middle of the pack, 58th out of 120 ranked. Andrew Billings, familiar name right there, 75th out of 120th ranked, 57.4 PFF grade. Grady Jarrett, 81 out of 120, 55.7 overall PFF grade, right? This interior defensive line can be had. This is a time to get the run game established. If we're not going to do it at any point this season, at least do it for this game, because that interior line can be had. Now, it's no secret that Tremaine Edmonds had 15 tackles, right? And there's a reason why he had 15 tackles because, well, you're getting to that second level at every time, and he has to make the tackle, right? This is the time for the offensive line to redeem themselves, right? They got to dominate up front, right? Whoever's going to be at that interior on our offensive line, they have to dominate here. This is a defensive line that can be dominated, but we have to bring the hat. What do you guys think about that? This is my early assessment for the game against the Bears. Let me know what you guys think, man. Let me see. Sorry, guys, man. I'm over here struggling, y'all. Mark Salter, hoping O-line steps it weak. Screw the Bears, man. I'm with it, man. Well, I missed that every show, but now I remember. Yeah, man. Hey, Big Mike Raider Fleet, man. We got to get a flag. We got to get a flag for the fleet, though. Yeah, I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it, man. There's plenty of things that I got in mind that I want to do. And I might run it with you guys to see, because I got some ideas on some merch that I want to do, and I might share it on down the line in the community tab. Just stay tuned for that one. The Chiefs love our O-line. Yeah, I think the whole league loves our O-line at this point. Let me see. Cowboys defense also did play bad, though. Yeah, that defense is atrocious. That Cowboys defense is not good this year. Bears are a much better team than people realize. Yeah, they have some solid players on that defense. Some young weapons, particularly a receiver, rookie tight end as well. Once they get rolling, once things get started, they're gonna be something to deal with for sure. Right now, we're catching them early, and I'm hoping that they're not figured it out yet. Now, Ben Johnson, we're hearing that he's kind of the next Josh McDaniels in sort of a way, and I'm hoping that's the case, right? Where a great play caller, but not a great head coach. A guy that can't make adjustments in the second half and things like that. I'm hoping that's the case with Ben Johnson, but we'll see, right? We'll see when it comes down to it. Let me see. How about a skeleton with two shotguns behind it instead of bones? I like that. I'm definitely going to keep that in mind. I'm going to come up with some ideas for sure. What color nails Williams is about to have? That is question of the day. He's going to wear blue nails. He's going with blue nails. And shout out to Caleb Williams. Congratulations for putting down the pumpkin spice latte, putting down the Hello Kitty plushies, and putting down his pet cat and things like that, and manning up and throwing for 4 touchdowns on Sunday. Shout out to him, but he's going to have to really be more consistent, right? And let's have him run into his binky on Sunday, man. To keep it clean, y'all. Keep it clean. Miklo Velka, Gino's interception, Debo's big return. First plays killing us. Yeah, absolutely. That set the trend. Absolutely. I agree with you. Ever since Micah Parsons got traded, Cowboys defense has been suspect. They are not good this year. They look really bad. Probably one of the worst defenses in the league. Let me see. Gino's interception. You watched the game. What interception? He didn't throw any interceptions. I didn't say interception, did I? If I did, hey, my mistake. 3 touchdowns, no picks. Had a great game despite running for his life. Let me see. 1 and 2, Raiders will find a way to make anyone look Pro Bowl. Yeah. I hope that's not the case this week, man. I've had enough. Raiders better be working out players this week. Yeah, hopefully we'll find more out tomorrow. We'll definitely see that, man. Let me see. Zamir and Parham need to go. Parham needs to move back to the right side at guard. Zamir White, I think I had enough of seeing him. Yeah, Hello Kitty, man. Hello Kitty. Soft. Oh, man, I need to stop yelling. Yo, Big Mike, Tyree sucks. I don't even remember really seeing him last week, to be honest with you. But, yeah, you have every right to feel that way. He's been playing better this season in comparison to the first two, so I'll give him that at least. Fudge 357 Pete Carroll said JPJ is going back in the starting lineup next week. Hopefully, this will make a difference for us to win. I need to see him at center for me to be happy. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to Big Lil Bosco in the building, a member of the Big Mike Raider fleet. Says, sorry, I'm late, brother. What's the topic, man? Hey, you know, it's funny. I mentioned you early in the show. If you want to go back to it, I was talking about the Commanders game, and I was talking about I did like a small window look at what happened in the game, right? Defense, special teams didn't look so great. Kind of backed up on the window and looked at the bigger picture, right? Looking at this offensive line and talking about in-team politics and things like that. Stuff we were talking about earlier when we were chatting back and forth earlier, bro, and talking about just the Raiders as a team and the fan base and the impact that they have on the fan base negatively, them not winning and things like that. So that's that. And then we just finished doing a Bears early game preview, man. So go ahead and rewind it, man. Check it out. See exactly what I'm talking about, bro. Thanks for popping in, bro. And a good conversation earlier, man. That was dope. Let me see. Accelerator. Raiders will win the remaining 14 games and score 60 in the Super Bowl. Accelerator with the haymaker. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see. Got a question from Miklo Velka. Gino playing shotgun gives a pass rushes an advantage rather than playing under center. You think? I think it's more of all the same. Because if you're in the shotgun formation, more than likely you're going to do maybe what at most a 3-step drop. If you're in the shotgun formation, likely you're not going to do a 7-step drop. But if you're under center, you're going to see a 5 to 7-step drop a lot. So you're pretty much in the same position almost roughly, right? There are exceptions. You're in the position roughly where you're going to be regardless. But you do have a point as far as establishing a pocket for not just Geno Smith, but that offensive line, right? The pocket looks maybe slightly different when you're under center in comparison to that shotgun formation, right? There is that. But this is an O-line situation. I don't think it's a scheme situation. I think it's an O-line problem. And we've seen it not just in pass rush, but the ability to run the ball as well. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. Hopefully to answer your question, man. Let me see. My honest, no joke prediction, Geno gets significantly hurt. Ooh. Yo, accelerator, bro. Hold on. Oh, no. Can't say that, man. Hopefully you're not right. But I'll say this, bro. If that offensive line doesn't keep him upright and he keeps getting hit, the number of times he's getting hit, yeah. I don't want to say it out loud, but yeah. Devin Smith says, as much as we talk about the offensive line, I do also think we need to dial up. Please let that Geno get dial up, please, that let Geno get the ball out quicker at this point and then try to deep shots come to us. Use your personnel. Yeah. I agree with you. One thing I also want to see, they use a lot of almost the play action RPO kind of look, but it's ineffective when you can't get the run game started. That's also a problem. The passing game will look better if you can run the ball, because that fake handoff will actually get these linebackers kind of freezing a little bit and like, oh, I got to stop the run. Throw it right over their heads. We haven't seen it, right? It would be a lot more effective when you can run the ball, play actions and RPO and things like that. You saw it. You saw Mariota be very effective with that because of the way they're running the ball. So, that we got to get that run game started. Is not just for the run game, but just for the sake of the passing game as well. Let me see. Geno got to be in shotgun with that offensive line or he won't make it. That's a good way to look at it, man. That's a good way to look at it. Get the ball out a lot quicker, too. O-line sucks, and it will suck even more until JPJ moves to center. A lot of people feel that way, and I'm starting to feel that way as well, man. Let me see. Accelerator, I know I deserve the booze for that, but that O-line has future hospital visit written over. And there's nothing wrong with what you just said, bro. I think we're all worried about Geno Smith being protected or the lack of protection from this offensive line, man. We definitely, all of us are collectively like kind of holding our breaths as far as that goes. So, you're not wrong for that, but it's just hard to hear for sure, man. Frank Jeremilo. I probably messed your name up, man. I apologies. Talk Big Mike. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. I only do my best here, man. We only do my best over here on Big Mike Raider. Let me see. For the talent we have, you think we're better off playing more of a spread RPO concept? Yes, and I think we've seen elements of that a little bit, right? But that RPO isn't effective unless you have a run game, right? Because you can do all this mesh concept and, hold the ball for the running back. It's not getting these linebackers to freeze at all, right? Because they know that is not effective at the run game. The run game isn't effective. So, better, as well as I do. That RPO gets those linebackers moved up, and now you're throwing it over their heads, right? Especially if you do get a one-on-one situation with a corner or a safety, depending on what the formation is. You exploit those one-on-one situations, especially like at a slant or things like that. Those were or seam, like up the seam and things like that. We haven't had these linebackers really freeze on anything. So in order for us to do that, we got to get the run game started. But I would love to see something like that. But we need to get Genty started. But it would be more effective. I think it would definitely get the ball out of Geno Smith's hands a lot faster. I'll tell you that. That's for sure, bro. But we got to start with this running game. We got to start with the running game. It almost feels like the coaches still have that O-line in practice mode and they're still just feeling things out instead of really playing. Kind of feels like that. It feels like that they're playing preseason football for sure. I agree with you. They need to turn it up. It's week 4. It's time now. Absolutely. I don't think Kappa is the entire issue. I think if we had that O-line lineup from last season, Kappa could play a little better in that role. Yeah, I don't, man. It's tough. It's tough because I want to point at Meredith. He's just not being the answer at center. Do we move him to guard or do we keep Kappa in and have JPJ at center? I don't know. But what I will say is we have the wrong person playing center right now. That's first things first. First things first. Let me see. 1 and 2, who knew vanilla was going to be the flavor in the regular? Oh, boy. Yeah, man. I agree. If Geno gets hurt, we might as well start looking for his replacement in the draft, no matter no other teams leftovers. Yeah, I'm with you on that. If he does get hurt, the season is a wrap, y'all. Especially seriously hurt. The season's a wrap. I've been to LA and Oakland games, tailgated. Both parking lots are fire, man. I envy you in that one, man. I envy you. I wish I can go back into time to experience those days, man. Miklo Velka at Tiny Hands Pickett will come to the rescue. Oh, no. Man. I hope you're right. I don't feel that way, but I hope you're right. Let me see. We're drafting a quarterback either this draft or next. Next year and after is going to have a good quarterback draft class. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to at least bring a quarterback in. And I'm cool with letting him sit for a couple years, but we definitely got to get one early so we can have that heir apparent to Geno Smith whenever he is leaving the building. Let me see. I'm going to get a couple more of these in, and I'm going to get out of here, man. My throat's on fire. Been talking way too much. Miklo Velka should have stayed with our original pick in the second round, taking the best available offensive lineman. Yeah, absolutely. I would have loved for him to move back up into the late first, and get an additional offensive lineman then. I wanted them to be really aggressive because there were some good offensive linemen, particularly in that late first that I was looking at. It would have been nice. It would have been nice for him to do that instead of moving back a number of times and they end up getting Jack Besh, who isn't even playing. That's a big problem too. What are we getting out of Jack Besh these days? You know, so that's something that a lot of people aren't saying enough of. You're expecting your second round pick to contribute a lot more than what he is doing. Let me see. Bo Rock says Genty had 17 carries and he got 11 of them behind the line of scrimmage. That is a big problem, a huge problem. Alec M says, "Go Knights, beat the Kings, man." I'm so sick of the Golden Knights, man. I'm so sick of the Golden Knights, and I'm so sick of the Edmonton Oilers, man. I'm so sick of both those teams. But I digress. If it's up to me, JPJ center and try our rookies. Yeah. Maybe we got to put feet to fire to some of these rooks. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it if it gets worse. This JPJ situation is a revisit of Mid-Chew over AOC last year. Man, I hope it doesn't get that bad. I'll tell you that. Let me see. Last one. I'm getting out of here, y'all. Pickett would have to have superpowers. Yeah, seriously, right? Let me see Lecky T in the building, man. He says Nathan High Stakes Peterman season is upon us. Oh, man. But guys, that is the show, man. Thank you guys for popping in. Thank you for the love and support you guys always show. 88 in the building, man. Before you guys get out of here, you guys already know what to do. Make sure you like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Make sure you share this out all over social media. Make sure they check the replay out. And guys, if you want to become a member of the Big Mike Raider fleet, go ahead and do that. The link is at the top of the chat. It's pinned up at top. So go ahead and show some support, show some love. Much appreciated. But until then, man, I'll be back later this week. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Bears versus Raiders. We'll get an injury report in. We'll get kind of a better idea what's going to happen with this offensive line, and we'll talk some more strategy. But until then, guys, you guys have an excellent rest of the week, and I'll see maybe guys on Thursday. And hopefully my throat is a lot better. But until then, man, you guys have a good night, and I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace.
Your light illuminates their imperfections, hence their attempts to dull your shine. Light 'em up.
They threw dirt on my name and flowers grew right out the brown soil. My vision's clear as glass, the robe is purple satin plus the crown's royal. Allow me to give you a demonstration. Holding your breath, waiting for me to fail only brings hyperventilation. See, I'm a soldier that's ready for any situation. So me and life double dated my trials and tribulations. Won't be remembered for not speaking out. I Google map my whole approach, so I chose not to take the peaceful route. I promise I can't make this shit up. I shed a tear, then used the mic stand to hold my chin up. They plot and strategize on different ways to make me give up. That's easier said than done, like a woman that's 9 months pregnant doing sit-ups. Yeah, I read the book of life, defeat was never in my story. Just brutal fights on the battlefield is bloody and gory. Showing off is a fool's idea of glory. Call me foolish, then in the clutch I make them drop like I was Robert Ory. See, in this world you gotta sink or swim. Boy, I'm a legend, when I die my presence never will be felt again. This greatness rare, but see I kept it in. Isolation in the demons, guardian angels been my only friend. I've been at war with myself in silence. Had a mental malfunction, forced to go into hiding. For
I hope you
powerless like
watching right now,
losing
because then you're gonna understand. Whoever get in my way, I'ma dog walk their ass.